This is Geekazine's coverage of VMworld 2012. Continuing coverage of VMworld 2012, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. We're here with Will from Dell, and we're talking about a new technology. Well, it's a new technology for me, I suppose, a little bit. It's called vStart. Right. And why don't you tell people what vStart's all about?
All right, thanks, Jeff. So the vStart that we're talking about today at the show, this is the vStart 1000. It's a combination of Dell servers, Dell Blade chassis, Dell Compellent, Dell Force 10. One of the cool things about it is it's kind of a pre-configured bundle that we validated and tested from the ground up. So the good thing for customers is if they don't really know what they want, but they know they need about 1,000 VMs, they can say, I want a vStart 1000, or maybe a vStart 100, or a vStart 500. But they're not locked into that by any means. So what they can do is they can actually say, all right, I need this, but I need extra RAM or extra CPU, or maybe I need more storage or less storage. So it's really just a starting point for customers to kind of go towards that journey of virtualization for them. And we can kind of design and customize the whole stack for them.
If you're looking for one seat or 1,000 seats, you've got that in this system, exactly. Or do you start on another system?
Well, so it depends, right? If you know you're going to grow to 1,000, this is a good starting spot. And then another cool thing about it is if you say, I know I'm going to go to 4,000, I can keep building these up in building blocks of 1,000 at a time. So usually if you start at 50, you know that you're going to not necessarily grow to 500 or 1,000, so you may want to start with a different technology. Maybe you're going to do, instead of blade chassis, maybe you're going to do server rack mount chassis. So we really will help the customer kind of make that decision and decide, what you want to do from the ground up and where you want to go with that. And whether it's seats or VMs or virtual machines or VDI or servers, whatever, we'll help them really design, the entire package. And we'll actually deliver the whole thing just like this. So you get the nice little bezel, you get all the storage, you get all the plugins, all the software, all the rack and stack and cable, everything is kind of done for the customer, just kind of put it into their data center.
And you also have OEM solutions so that you could customize it to their look and their feel, right?
Exactly, and that's one of the coolest parts about it is it's not a solution that they're stuck with. Basically what they can do is say, all right, I want to start with this, but maybe I want to grow and do something else, or maybe I want to add a little bit extra, or maybe I want to put in this software bundle, but they still come to Dell, and Dell is still the end-to-end solution provider for them.
Now, you're also working with Micron on SSD solutions, and you guys put out a blade for that solution. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure thing. So let me step out real quick. So one of the cool things that we announced at VMworld is our quarter height blades. There we go. And so the cool thing about this is, so our normal blade chassis, you can have 8 full height blades, you can have 16 half height, and now you can have up to 32 quarter height. And these can actually come with ESXi installed on these little flash drives right here. Or you can actually leverage all the Micron drives for whatever you want to do for your operating system. But it gives you a very, very dense CPU platform to go in the same blade chassis that you already have.
Is this whole unit hot swappable? Or?
The whole unit is hot swappable. And so, for example, in a VMware environment, it's fantastic. You put it in maintenance mode, you throw this out, you throw a new one in if you need to, or you start, hot swapping or not hot swapping, but you start fixing anything that needs to. But because it's all virtualized as far as your virtual center infrastructure, these things really do become a plug-and-play device to add CPU and compute and memory for your environment.
Oh yeah, you got everything right there, and a small, easy to handle one. And you also have a bigger one down there, correct?
Right. And so one other thing,
as we do the switch.
So this is a little bit different. So this is actually the Dell EqualLogic blade chassis array. So this is actually an EqualLogic storage device that fits in your server rack or in your server blade chassis. So unlike a traditional rack-mounted storage enclosure, this will actually fit in your blade chassis just like everything else, and it almost gives you a data center in a box. So now you have the full EqualLogic storage line with 14 drives, dual controllers, everything like that, hot swappable drives that you can see it actually pulls out like this on the rails, but now it's actually in your 10U blade chassis. So now the cool thing about that is if you have a colo or if you have a much smaller environment for your rack space, and you're not necessarily doing a vStart 1000, but maybe like a vStart 200 or 300, you literally just need 10U of rack space, and it has everything. It's got servers, it's got compute, it's got storage, it's got networking, it's got everything in there for you to really kind of make it a real dense platform.
All right.
And it's very heavy.
Very, very heavy. All right, so what are we talking about getting started into the vStart system? What are we talking about price-wise?
I'm not a sales guy, I'm an engineer, so I really couldn't comment, but really what we ask customers to do is talk to their sales rep, talk to their channel partners, find out what the best solution for them is, and whatever the price point is, if they need to add more or subtract more, that's all stuff that we can do. Because the whole idea is, even though we've got a solution that's been designed from the ground up for a certain workload, every workload is different, and we can help them, kind of optimize and customize, and it's truly open as far as the capabilities that they can do.
All right. Is there a white paper over on Dell that they can take a look at?
There's a lot of stuff. There's reference architectures online at Dell.com /storage/virtualization. Many different things that customers can find online to find out about the vStart, to find out about the reference architecture that we use when we design this, installing it, configuring it, and all that stuff.
All right. Perfect. Well, if you're looking for a new system, getting the virtualization game, the vStart might be the way to go. You can check that out all over at Dell.com. Thank you very much, Will.
Have a good one.
We have a lot more video coming from VMworld 2012. This is Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. Stick around.